We're going to be reading about the call. Um, let's start with verse Jeremiah 1, verse 5. It's very familiar. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as the prophet to the nations. 6, it says, Alas, sovereign Lord, I said to him, I do not know how to speak because I am young. But the Lord said to me, Do not say I am too young. You must go to wherever I send you to and say whatever I command you. Do not be afraid of them, for I am with you and will rescue you, declares the Lord. Then the Lord reached out his hand and touched my mouth. And he said to me, I have put my words in your mouth. See, today I appoint you over nations and kingdoms to uproot, tear down, to destroy, to overthrow, to build, and to plant. The word of the Lord came to me and said, What do you see, Jeremiah? Pay attention to that point. What do you see, Jeremiah? I see the branch of an almond tree, I replied. The Lord said to me, You have seen correctly, for I am watching to see that my word is fulfilled. Okay, Jeremiah, I'm watching to see that what I've done in you, you are allowing to happen. Let's go to Galatians. We're going to start with Galatians. At Galatians 1, we're going to go from 12 to 23. Galatians 1, 12 to 23. And here we're talking, this is Paul. This is Paul's discussion. Let's start with 11. I want you to know, brothers and sisters, that the gospel I preached is not of human origin. I want you to know, sisters and brothers, the gospel that I preach is not from any man. 12. I did not receive it from any man, nor was I taught it. Rather, I received it by the revelation of Jesus Christ. For you have heard of my previous way of life in Judaism, how intensely I persecuted the church of God and tried to destroy it. I was advancing in Judaism beyond many of my own age among my own people and was extremely zealous for the traditions of my fathers. But when God set me apart, remember we just read that in Jeremiah, when God who set me apart from my mother's womb and called me by his grace was pleased to reveal his son in me so that I may preach him among the Gentiles, my immediate response was not to consult any human being. 17. I did not go up to Jerusalem to see who were apostles before I was. I did not go up to scope out the land to see who did it before me, to see how I was going to structure myself. I didn't do that. But I went into Arabia. Later, I returned to Damascus. Then after 3 years, I went up to Jerusalem to get acquainted with Cephas, Peter, and stayed with him for 15 days. I was personally unknown to the churches of Judea that are in Christ. They only heard the report. The man who formerly persecuted us is now preaching the faith he once tried to destroy. I want to bring out a few key points in there. We first started out with Jeremiah. We ended in Galatians. The correlation between the two is being appointed by God before I was in my mother's womb. Obviously, Jeremiah spoke that way before Paul spoke it. You can tell that Paul had been reading scriptures and he understood based on what Jeremiah did and what Jeremiah experienced that's what he was experiencing now. Meaning he had hindsight on what came before him and realized, oh, that's what's happening to me now. Let me follow suit. Let me see how my forefathers did it to know what I am supposed to do. Hindsight is 20/20. If you pay attention to the past, it can direct your future. Hindsight is 20/20. If you pay attention to your past, what my forefathers did, good or bad, it can give you directions on where you're going for your future. I think this is not part of my discussion, but I'm going to give you this nugget. I think we fall short and leave a lot of things on the table. Once again, leaving things on the table that we can learn from to guide us to where we're going to go. We don't have to figure out everything. We can pay attention because life is cyclical. Nothing is new under the sun. What you're doing now has already been done. You have examples. You don't have to start from scratch. That is not part of this message, but that came out. I just want to bless you with that right now, because I think we don't take advantage of the things that's already put in front of us. We don't look at what's already in our hands or what's already been given to us. You do not have to recreate the wheel. Hear me. You do not have to recreate the wheel. But I want to point out in Galatians 12, I wrote down a few key things that I want to talk about. In 12, it says, and I'm summarizing as I say this because we already read it. You can go back and read it yourself. But I summarize in my notes as I go throughout and I'll read each verse. I write down what got my attention. On 12, I wrote, man did not give me anything. I was qualified by God. So we're in a day and age where most of our time is being spent pleasing man, or getting accredited by man, or getting approved by man, or getting ordained by man, allowing man to qualify us for what God already called us to do. Ain't that something? So why is that when God has called us to do and be who he created us to be, we have to go get accredited or approved or seek or get the approval of individuals that has no power? Why do we give people that kind of power over our lives when we was already, how can you give me something that was already given to me? How can you approve something in me that I already had? You didn't do anything. We got to stop giving people power over us in our lives and walking walking without power because we just won't accept who we are. Listen, God created you. He created me. For me to do anything other than live out what he's called me to do and be and try to change it is to say that God didn't know what he was doing. Or you made a mistake with me, God. Man, there's nothing more powerful and more attractive than somebody walking in what they were called to do, or being to the fullness how God created them. It's nothing more attractive than that. I've often said that to people, what you see that you're attracted in me is not even me. It's me acting out what God, or me being what God created me to be. See, you're really not attracted to me. You're attracted to the God that's in me. All I'm doing is being what he called me to be. And that level of confidence is attractive. 14, he said, I was good at the wrong thing at an early age, but God set me apart. 15, I did not need to consult any human being. Once again, I'm already good at this. I don't have to go see how you're doing it to see how I'm going to do it. I'm going to say it again. I don't have to go study somebody else to see how God created me already to be. What I need to do is tap into, and what Paul did, is tap into, you know what? I'm fully sold out on who God created me to be. I'm sold out. Whether I know it or not, I don't know what age Paul was at when he did this, but it says here at an early age he did this. So meaning, I've been already doing this. Let's step back. I want you to close your eyes, get in a quiet place, and review your life. Review where you are right now at whatever age you are, and go back down through the history of your memory and look at what you've already been doing. I want to say that if you pay attention what you've been doing, and if you lock into who you are right now, you realize that you've been doing it all the time. But the problem is you don't see yourself. Wait. Okay, man of God. What do you mean you don't see yourself? I'm gonna take you back to Jeremiah. He said, see. Listen, Jeremiah, I need you to see. Today, I appoint you over the nations and kingdoms to uproot, tear down, to destroy, and overthrow, to build and to plant. I need you to see that. See, I don't think we don't look at the words and exegete what it's trying to say accordingly. Because I mean, God is telling Jeremiah, I need you to see what I want you to do. I need you to see who you are. Because if you can't see who you are, you can't do what I've called you to do. Because if you can't see who you are, see, sometimes we can see what we're called to do and then go watch somebody else to see how they're doing it and try to mimic how they're doing it. And see, I'm speaking to the choir. Full disclosure. God didn't call me to do what I'm doing to mimic somebody else. If he wanted me to be somebody else, why wouldn't he just have that somebody do it? He wanted me to do what he called me to do. Probably because what others are doing, he needs to make some corrections. And he needs to raise somebody up that he brought out from the womb in this generation, in this time that we're in, to make corrections for what's not being done. I'm just saying. That is that possibility, because I was set apart. You were set apart before you was in your mother's womb. That means you had a purpose before you even got here. That means, and I've said this time and time again before in the past, that you beat out 1,000,000 other seedlings to impact that womb. You came in this world a winner because you beat out millions to impregnate that egg. You were an overcomer before you even came out of the cocoon. If you pay attention and acknowledge that, hey, wait a minute, I can't be a loser. I was a winner before I came out. Know that. See yourself. See yourself. We spend too much time trying to be somebody else and not able to see ourselves. Because if you can see yourself, then you can, so let's go back to 14. Excuse me. Let's go back to 12. In Jeremiah. See, and this is what God said. I need to make sure that you're seeing what I'm saying. He said, the Lord said to me in 11, the word of the Lord came to me. What do you see, Jeremiah? Okay, see, this is God saying, okay, I need to see what you're seeing. I need to see that you're accurately seeing what I need you to see. What do you see in Jeremiah? And Jeremiah replied, I see the branch of an almond tree. The Lord said, you've seen correctly. For I'm watching to see that my word is fulfilled. I'm watching you, Jeremiah. Listen, I need to make sure that you're doing and you're seeing what I need you to see, because where I have you to go, I need you to see that, and don't get discouraged. Don't get afraid. Just say what I need you to say. Stop saying I'm just a boy. Listen, believe in yourself. Believe in me that's in you. See yourself. I see you. I'm saying this to somebody right now. I see you. I'm just waiting on you to see yourself. That's what God's saying. I see you. I just need to know that what I put in you, you're going to actually execute. Are you executing today? Or are you still waiting on someone else to tell you who you are? See yourself, man of God. See yourself, woman of God. See yourself like God sees you. So therefore you can execute what God created you to do already. You don't need to seek approval from man. You don't need to get accredited. You don't need a degree. Listen, there's nothing more powerful than to see people go to school to do what you were already created to do. They had to go pay thousands upon thousands of dollars to get what you get naturally. Hear me. You got this. Be it. See it. But until you see yourself, you're not going to fulfill, and you're not going to be able to live up to, you're not going to be able to accomplish everything that God has for you, because you're too busy watching somebody else. Stop looking at me. Stop looking at me. Don't pattern your life off me. Glean. Look at others. But do what God called you to see yourself. Start looking at yourself and stop looking at me. Because I can't do what you can do. I can do what I can do, and can't nobody do it better. I fully believe that. Nobody can do what I do better than I can, because you know why? Because what God purposed me to do is for me. All I got to do is use the power that's been given to me. Because I'm destined to do greater things. That's the word. I'm destined to do greater things. If I see myself, if I believe it. So that's why I don't spend time trying to be you. I can't do what you can do. I can't be you. Be me. You do you. And I'm going to sit back and celebrate you and congratulate you and push you to help you be you. Because there's nothing greater than that, to help somebody be what God called them to be. I can get a little credit on the side. God can bless me for blessing you. You can be blessed. Everybody's blessed. In the meantime, me trying to bless you is what I was called to do. See how that works? Everybody get blessed. But you got to see yourself. I'm cheering for you. Nothing more. I want nothing more than see people fulfill what God called for them to do. And I have nothing to be jealous of. I have nothing to be envious of. You should be taking on that same trait. Because listen, I'm too busy worried about what God, I'm too busy trying to see me to watch you. I'm too busy trying to be me and not leave anything on the table. Hear me, guys. Not try to leave anything else on the table. I'm about business. I'm about the Father's business. Didn't you know I was up telling my Father's business? That's what Jesus said to his mother. Listen, I'm about business. I don't have time to do anything else other than try to see me and see what God wants me to do in here. You know what I'm saying? So go out there today. Reevaluate what you got going on. See yourself. See yourself like God sees you. And go get it.
My joy, my peace, my everything.